Yeah, what's up? We're gold,
What up?
and we pulled up a couple of projects. So the two projects we have are a Funk Case remix of one of his prettier songs, where we're doing a bit of uh, the future bass type sound design. There's some 808 action, but a lot of it is like future bass type synth work.
Yeah.
We took the chord progression of what he started, used the vocals, and then wrote some guitar riffs and everything to go along with it. Um, so what's cool is these two projects are both very electronic, but they both have a lot of uh, real guitar. So we'll have, you know, little go-tos on how to do electronic guitar and how to incorporate that into projects, but then also uh, sound design for some heavy stuff, and then sound design for some pretty stuff. Hopefully everything sounds good.
I want to see the questions.
Yeah, here, you set that up like right in front so we can see it. Yeah, John. All right, cool. So this project obviously started off with stems, um, and this project isn't very organized either. This project
I
is one
mean,
where
eh,
it kind of was just a spur of the moment
most
thing.
most of our projects are pretty unorganized.
Yeah, only lately we've been like really getting into putting everything together. Although you can kind of see how this came together. Like the stems kind of like went in the middle, then the guitar was written around them.
So yeah,
Uh,
this is like
we'll
when
play
we
it all the
first
way.
got this project. I kind of just loaded in the stems, and then uh, we started recording guitars to it to kind of go along with the melody, the main melody of the the song itself. And then from there we kind of built on it. Just added a simple drum beat in the intro. It all really started with writing the guitars over it to the vocals because it was such a beautiful vocal.
So I'm gonna play like just what we have, what we kept of the stems, so that people can hear just like.
That's really it.
Make your music stand out, get more views, and way more engagement. Bring your music to life. Get Music Visualizer. In every format, even for social media. Get started today. The link is in the description.
Yeah, we really the only things that were
The
kept were
effects.
literally kind of just the structure of the original song because it went with the vocals. Obviously, we kept the vocals, which luckily with this, you know, this song is there's not much to go about to tell you guys of what we did production wise on vocals because we got a really good
Yeah,
stem.
it was just like a really
We didn't
nice
have to
vocal.
add anything, I don't think, really. Just like a little bit of an EQ. That's it.
Literally.
Little bit.
Maybe a bus with some reverb on it, but
Yep,
other than
that's it.
that,
All the leaves are changing colors and they're falling down.
Yeah, we have over here. We have build-ups. Cool. So that's what we kept from the original song. I think is there chords from the original song
so the
here?
chords are actually a sample from Splice. I believe the piano chords.
These ones?
Yeah. Yeah, so what we did, we found this sample and chopped it up into a melody that matched kind of the rest of the melody of the guitars and stuff like that. And then we layered it with a bunch of other synths to kind of make it fuller with a bass and then a more bigger saw synth underneath it.
So that was kind of that was like the original little idea. That's where this thing stemmed from. Obviously, then we added guitars. Guitars.
It's actually just a Logic preset called Tubby Tape that we used on this project.
Yeah, we definitely go hard with the Logic pedals and amps. We just got Bias Effects, which is a really, really, really good amp emulator, which is basically what this is.
But it just has
But honestly,
cooler.
it's just a little bit better version of this.
Yeah.
If you need to add like what this is, it's just like a little lead thing. we have a little guitar that kind of comes in over
little
it.
bit of
It's
delay on
very
it.
simple stuff where you're just kind of using a crunch amp, not much gain here. You know, the EQ on the guitars is, I mean, this is kind of a lot. Usually you don't even really have to EQ it that much. There's probably some synth work that's going on that we don't want, interfering.
With
So
the same frequency range.
messing with the frequencies there a little bit. But, yeah, see,
And
there's
then
just
on
this.
the top here, we just have a bass that's following the melody there, and the intro and breaks, I believe.
Is Logic not loud enough? I can turn up Logic. Let's see. This might be better.
Yeah, I think.
How's that? Is that better, guys? Oh, I might be able to fix it. Yes. Hey, it's loud in our headphones. That's why we don't know. We don't know if it's not loud enough for you guys. That might be better though. That's better.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
cool. Well, it's blasting in our
Yeah,
ears.
I know.
It's like super loud. But anyway, so yeah, layering the guitar is pretty easy. One cool thing that we can show you guys that we do with the guitar. So like, there's guitar going over during the drop here, which is very simple. Just power chords. But what we'll do a lot of times with guitars, I have to move the phone because I can't see it. Okay. What we'll do a lot of times with the guitar is when there's a synth going on that's kind of like a saw synth and it has a wobble to it. That's not the correct term. But if we go back to our original synth, we have those chops. And then we have another synth that's going to go underneath it. Like this.
There's more of a
Super
soft-
simple. Just something that makes it louder. Accentuates those chords. But since that's moving with a similar pattern, it's moving with that wah 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 type of sound. You have guitars that go underneath to make it kind of tie in with the rest that are doing the same thing. And there's many different ways to do that. There's LFO tools.
We use tremolo a lot.
We just used Logic Tremolo and set it so that it's literally at an eighth note. Yeah, it's redlining. It's literally so loud in our headphones, guys. But it's okay. Whatever makes it sound good on the stream, we're not really worried about it. We ain't worried about it. But yeah, setting a tremolo to an eighth note and then having the guitars kind of wobble underneath what's going on. Oh, that's the vocal. Well, see, even the vocals got that tremolo on it.
You can live.
See, this is the bad thing about having an enterprise project. There we go. Something that just adds body to these synths that are going on here. Oh yeah, the hi-hat loop. The hi-hat
AKA
loop of
producer
highlights.
hacks.
For yeah, so I mean, when you put all the synths together, we have the attack and the initial chord from those samples. We have the body coming from this layer below, and then when you add the bass, it's literally just with Serum with the sub. There's actually unnecessary stuff. This stuff could have been muted. I just duplicated one of the other tracks that we were using, and then I just used the sub from it. and then, obviously cut out all the high end out of it. And that's underneath. So you can hear where like the pluck is in the sound. You can hear where the body of it is. And then, yeah, it's just kind of like, instead of trying to find that perfect synth that has all of those elements, you can take like 4 or 5 different synths.
And just layer them.
One that has good attack, one that has good... And then if you EQ it right so that things kind of fit in to their respective layers, this kind of has a little bit of attack to it. But it's mostly just the bass, and that's all that's filtered in. This has literally just the attack, so all the bass is filtered out. Wait, that's not the right key. All the bass is filtered out. It's got a little bit of body in here, but then it's really the high end that you're worried about there. Then you come up to this one. I think this one's just got a little bit more body to it. That's like the initial sample. Yeah, and then you got this. This is like the big boy. But it's simple. It's so simple. It's literally just a saw synth. Just 2 saw waves with the voices, detuned a little bit. A little bit of a filter action going on, but it's not even really doing anything. Yeah, just enough. So that's that. I mean, this, and then layering things underneath that is pretty simple. Whether you want to go for a trap vibe. This song, we went for a trap vibe. Now, let me see. Where are the 808s?
The 808s come in on the second drop. They're not in the first drop.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Does anybody have any questions about like what's going on in the song? I mean, there's some cool vocal chopping.
808s here.
All gold every.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to think of what else that's the unique part of that song is the way we took the guitars and then kind of still have them going throughout the song, even in the drops, but have them like wobbling with the synths. That's a cool trick that people can use. The cool thing about going into an 808 too is, I mean, so what we did with this drop as opposed to the first drop, that's that synth that was big before, but it literally is just the tremolo is tightened up.
harsher, yeah.
Just literally pulling it back to where it's only letting a little
offset.
bit of the song.
A little bit. Yeah.
Doing this with like any sort of like pluck synth or saw wave or any synth. You could try it with any sound, putting a tremolo like this and then even putting like a little bit of a palm muted guitar playing with the same tremolo on it will make them become like one sound. And that's a really cool way to just kind of make your stuff stand out a little bit.
When the song's playing, they can't hear us. Could you rewind that drop and explain that opening into a little intro? Okay, so
the part that's before the drop or like the beginning of the song. I'm wondering if he means here.
You mean the intro?
Yeah, either the intro of the drop or the intro of the song. I gotta take this off. Yeah, the delay is crazy. The live from the chat. Yep. Well, yeah, just play from the beginning. We'll
Yeah.
probably be able to think of other things to talk about with it. I mean, one big thing is automation is very, 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 very key.
Yeah. For sure.
Almost every single track in the song has automation on it.
Close all the
It's like-
windows.
because it has to stop at a certain point, or we just want to control the volume
Or
or
yeah.
effects on that particular track.
Like one big thing is like the putting a low cut, you know, on the snare build, for example, and then having the automation build it so that it slowly loses the bass in it. That's an easy way to make a build up sound more what's the word? Suspenseful.
My boy in a whole bubble goose indoors. LOL. I think you might have been talking about this.
Yeah, this actually. Yeah, I mean this a lot of this track too is the mastering. I'll take the mastering channel off too.
So much quieter.
You know, a big part of it sounding so big. Oh yeah, the automation is so key. From changing up like what's happening with Serum, we're gonna get, and we're also, side note, we got like, we'll probably spend another like 5-10 minutes on this track specifically, but the next track is automation central.
Yeah.
The dap collab, the heavy music, the dubstep, you know, bass stuff, that is, automation is super key. I mean, because you can even notice, right? So like, not necessarily in this, but there's parts here where the audio is ducking. And it's where kicks are hitting.
So it's almost like a side chain, but automated for that.
Logic could not keep up with us there. On the future bass lead. Okay, sound design on the future bass lead. Well, yeah, it's these 3 layers. It's what, 4 layers. This is literally just a sub. Now that's part of what makes it sound so big, is because the sub is very, very fat. It's very, you know, it's turned very far up in the mix. Everything besides the sub is cut out of the sound, so it's going to stand out nice. Like what we were saying before, there you have the attack of the sound
Really,
in
yeah.
this synth.
Really plucky, like.
Now, this was a sample, obviously, but you could literally go into Serum and take whatever chord that is. You can make it from scratch, to be honest. Make a little plug. Put on a filter. Now, I don't remember what key this is in.
G minor.
Where'd it go? All right, you're right. We got G. Okay.
I knew it.
Oh, God. But see how that already just has an attack? It's such a simple synth, and most people would be like, okay, I need to make something cooler than that. You know? And you can make it a little bit cooler, but really this is about the attack of the sound. Cool. So now you have your first layer of your synth. which is basically what that is. It's a little bit different. I think the fact that it's a sample is kind of what makes it sound a little bit more unique than necessarily just making like a sawtooth chord, but that's your attack. You got your first layer. Boom. Then you got, now, do people know what the attack is? People know what the attack of a sound is, right? Reverb delays. Well, there's definitely like reverb and delay on all these pieces. I mean, so now this is the other piece. This is a little bit chuggier. So we put a reverb on this. Oh, this is. Should we give away the sauce?
No.
No.
So yeah, why not? We should.
We'll give away. We won't give away all the sauce because in the next song there's a little bit too much sauce to give away. But in this, so
Villa Bathroom has been our best friend throughout.
Now, you doesn't have. Now, this is just specifically a preset in the Logic reverb that comes with Logic. It's called Villa Bathroom. It sounds amazing. It literally sounds like
Especially
whatever
when it's
sound
really
you're.
short.
Yeah, it's a really short, small reverb. It sounds like it's whatever is going through it. It sounds like it's in the same room that you are. Now, what's cool about that is if you have a reverb that lets you EQ the sound of that reverb, you can take out any frequencies of the reverb that make it a little too harsh or make it stand out a little bit too much. In this case, the low end, and then, the sound that we're EQing is largely at this frequency range here. So we're taking that part of the reverb out. It doesn't need to be there. Now, when you normally load this reverb in, it's a bit longer. It sounds more like this. Actually, that's a little bit too big. Yeah, we don't use a whole lot of buses, to be honest, which is probably not the best thing.
I think I use buses more than Jake.
Yeah, for drums, I use buses, and for vocals.
I usually use them for like vocals, pianos. Sometime if I want the same reverb on all my percussion, I'll definitely.
Yeah, like that's a
throw it
big
on the
one
bus.
to use buses for.
But I mean, they're definitely useful.
So the other thing about doing, well, guys, we're also recording this on my computer, so we'll be able to post this at some point too. The other thing about reverb too, having reverb being on the actual channel itself or being on a bus, like this has a bus for it. It depends on what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
So if in this case, the reverb is literally shortening it to where it's literally only it's only going to be about 100 milliseconds. I keep pointing at the computer, like people can see what I'm
See your
pointing at,
finger.
but but it can't. Anyway, making the reverb very short, very very short, and like I said, taking all the harsh frequencies that are in it, and then having it the wet is all the way up, the dry is kind of far down. So we're basically just saturating this sound. Now, if I take the reverb off, it's very small of a sound. It sounds just like it was, like when we sampled it. It sounds like the original sample. But when you add that reverb, that short, it gives it a beefier sound to
It
it.
has like space almost.
Now, it doesn't change the sound. It's not like you're adding reverb and then muddying the mix completely by
Yeah.
or making something sound far away. You're just simply making it a bit fatter, making it a little bit thicker. So that's where we have the
lot
attack
more
on this
thumpier.
one. Once again, the attack on this one. Yeah, a little bit thumpier, a little bit more louder on the top. Oh god. And then, all right, so the last piece, is this. This is another really simple one. Now, this one, I think, literally, it started off, it's literally a stock
Yeah.
Serum preset, hardstyle lead. Now, it was a bit more intense It was a more like it says, made for hard style music. But I just liked that it was two saws and it was, big. Now, it was doing more over here in the filter, the original one, and I think I took that out. Let's see. Yeah, it kind of fades out. If you just hold down the note, it just kind of fades out into the white noise. Oh no.
That's the worst timing, Alex.
Text him from your phone so that he doesn't call back. Yeah, you could actually tell if you play two notes at the same time, you could tell that this used to be like a hard style lead. But with this, just this one note, it's literally just the note that the bass line is playing. It adds that beefiness to it. I guess the other big thing that's important is obviously letting your subs fit in the mix nice and having them move with whatever's happening. You really want the movement of the sub to match exactly what's going on up top, and it'll just make it sound so much bigger. That's a big thing. Yeah. And then the vocals that we chopped up. I think that was another thing. There's a lot of reverb on that. Now, this is where the Skrillexy thing kind of comes into play, where it has that kind of Skrillexy like vocal chop with the synth sound. It sounds like it's part of the synth, the wah 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 wah. But that's literally the tremolo. Yet again, we put a direction mixer on it so that it's in the middle. It's not like spread out into each ear. It's in the middle, so it's right where the synth is. Then we have the tremolo on it to where it's ducking it so that it moves exactly by 8 notes exactly with the synth.
And there's some OTT on it.
Yep. But now with the attack. It sounds like it's one and the same. And then see how it all comes together?
This makes it sound bigger and bigger.
Oh, when you add the bass, it just hits differently. Beautiful. Yeah, I think that's it. And then adding an 808 underneath when everything comes in, adding some layers like guitars that come in halfway through the drop that kind of layer over in the distance. Everything's got the bass cut out of it so it doesn't muddy the mix. We got the all gold everything.
They want to see more of the layered drop on top.
Oh, of this? Yeah.
So this vocal layer literally came with the stems.
Yeah, so this is what it sounded like without any effects on it.
So basically, by adding the tremolo and all that stuff, it kind of gave it more movement.
Yep, and then a little bit of distortion with OTT. OTT is actually good for distorting vocals because you could, and now we have, if you're in Ableton, you have a much better version of OTT, obviously. There's a lot more stuff that you can mess with, but the fact that you can take like different parts of the frequency and distort different parts differently is really nice versus like a regular, like there was regular distortion on this, but it's just too harsh because it does the whole, everything,
audio file,
the whole sound. Gotta put the direction mixer back on. Yep. So yeah,
there's so much more movement, especially that tremolo.
This one's just the effects, right? Yeah, it's just like reverb.
Yeah, and that one's on a bus actually, on a reverb bus. It makes it sound a little bit farther away in the mix.
Let's see, are these vocals? Are these?
Yeah, so that's just
more stuff to just create movement, stuff that just fits right in. It's all at the same. A lot of so we come from doing like bands and being like in rock music, well, not rock music, but like being in live music. And one big thing for us that happened is we started looking at these synths because they're in the same frequency range as guitars or as, trumpets or, as strings. They're in the same frequency range. So if you start treating them like that and just kind of layering things, no matter what you're layering, whether it be a vocal, a splice sample, or a soft synth, if you're layering it all, it's all in that frequency range, and then you put rhythm to it like it's another instrument, like it's a guitar, you'll come up with something that's, unique and something that will, sound cool, and then you arrange it like any other song. That's what creates timeless music. Is it's not necessarily like what instrument's being used. It's just how it's being used.
Absolutely.
So that's a big thing. So let's see, everything that's going on vocal-wise during the drop. Let's see.
There's a little fade on the vocal when it comes back in. It's sped up a little bit. Kind of gives it a cool effect going into it.
Yeah, there's not really any panning. They're mostly in the middle. They're mostly in the middle so that they don't muddy the synth work that's going on. Because the main body of the synth is in the middle, but then there's like one layer that's wide so that the synths are a little bit bigger. But well, that's that song. I don't know if there's a whole lot more. We could maybe at the end we'll do like specific questions for this. We can always go back to this song, and then obviously, yeah. I think it's really focusing less about how cool the sounds that you're making are. Obviously, you want stuff that's unique and stuff that you could kind of run with as your own thing. But as far as it's how you're using the sounds, it's how you're, some of the best songs of all time were literally just 4 tracks. Were literally just, like guitar, bass, drum, vocal.
Yeah.
And yeah, continue.
I find it when I'm writing, because when we started this project, I was kind of got into it with the guitars and really felt the melody of the song, and writing that way, really learning the key that we were writing in and just
adding
it's
like
to
so you write different melodies on a guitar than you would write on a keyboard, and you write different melodies on a keyboard than you would write when you're just programming sounds into a laptop, or you write. So just thinking about like a synth as not as a synth, but as like your lead instrument,
yeah.
and the bass that's happening in a drop as your bass guitar that's happening while the drum. You know what I mean? That's kind of how we think about things, and also it makes it cool because then if we were to play this stuff live as a band, we would know what would go with what. You could do acoustic versions of things, and see, this project's a little bit more organized. We organized it kind of before going.
He went through and organized it 5 minutes before
we did, and it's really not even that organized. But this one is definitely needed some sort of.
And collabs usually tend to get this crazy because there's already 2 brains on it, and then add a third or
there
fourth
was prior to about 20 minutes before doing this live stream. This
it was
this was
160
tracks. Yeah, so it was quite wild. But that's also us getting carried away. So all right, we're getting into sound design here. This is
There's a
a
lot going on
sound
in this
design
show.
intensive track. I'll just play it from the beginning. You guys probably know the song, but
Bam, 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 bam.
Come on. Come on. Everybody split the fuck up. Get your body on the doctor.
probably the most intense
Everybody split the fuck
that
up. Get your body on
really
the
that
doctor.
angry.
Get your body on the doctor. Everybody split the fuck up. Get your body on the doctor.
What? Oh,
Ooh,
system overload. Look at that.
that's truly unfortunate.
See, we usually transfer projects to Jake's computer from mine because I usually system overload all the time. But look at this.
Yeah, well, this dude, this one's nuts. So every single one of those like synth fills
It's all
is a
serum.
different
Yeah.
is a different track. You could do that with automation, but with at this point it got a lot easier to. I mean, there's still so much automation going on in all of these that it was just so much easier to
Yeah, from
just do a
volume
separate one
control
for
to-
each fill.
Yeah, to like pitching the sound up.
Because literally something different's going on in each one of these.
I think that
That's
has a pitch
the-
bend of the sound shift.
Something a little bit different for each one of these.
Open the automation back up though. So yeah, there's like a pitch bend going up there, so it kind of augments the sound of the pitch of that sound going up. It gives it a cool effect. That's something that you really do. That's kind of
Oh, yeah.
that's actually what we used to make the Butts synth. Like we were automating the synth to pitch down like and up. Like so it was like
Yeah,
wah,
so
wah,
instead of
wah,
it
wah.
having, to demonstrate, instead of it having like when we programmed out that synth for Butts, instead of it having a melody and us programming out the melody on
Yeah,
different notes here,
you
it was
just
literally
pitch
just
them.
like straight notes like this.
with automation on the pitch.
Oh, I made that.
And it's
way
really
too-
cool and it makes a unique sound. You can make some crazy shit out of it, honestly. You can even do it in automation, yeah.
This is a really weird sound to do it with, but wait, why is it going up? Yeah, I won't demonstrate with this sound. But we would do like you could do one note high,
Yeah, you
one
could
note
dip
low,
it.
and you could use the automation to change the note, and it'll have a different effect than actually just playing different notes. That's definitely a big.
It's a cool tool. It's just keep in your toolbox because it'll help you.
So this one's a big one where all the drums are very heavily EQ'd. There's pretty much a low, a high, and a low of every different thing on the side of the drums.
The China is fucking
The China
screaming.
is very nice.
Very metal.
Similar thing
Super
though.
tinny.
All of the lows
Trashy.
cut out of it so that it doesn't any frequencies that don't need to be there.
Cut them.
Your price is way too high. You need to cut them. Fucking get it. Shut up. Let's see. Sub. That's a big one.
What was the sub made on? Is it?
I want to
Imperial?
say
Yeah,
serum. With our subs, there's usually a couple different layers, but the layer that's the base part of it is always made sure to put in the middle,
center, yeah.
that it's in the center.
Because it's bass music. You want it to. Be
There's
boom, smack you.
so a lot of songs like this, there'll be two layers that we have. We'll have a layer of something that has attack, lasers. Literally, if you search for laser samples, or if you go in here, I mean, this came from. Actually, this is a good one. People can apply this to a lot of different things. So this sound. Oh, why is that making that terrible sound? Such a simple sound. But on the attack of on every note, we have this that takes the pitch and makes it dive. So when you have a note that's really...
Make your music stand out, get more views, and way more engagement. Bring your music to life. Get Music Visualizer. In every format, even for social media. Get started today. The link is in the description.
It's really, really short, like what's programmed in here. Very, very short. Literally just like a little dot. You'll get that tiny bit of, it'll sound like a laser because it'll be that little bit of a dip in the pitch.
Pew.
Yeah. Pew. That's actually
It's like a
exactly the
pew,
word
pew,
for it. Now there's
there's
a few different layers for the bois. We have our top, which is where the tone is coming from. Now you'll notice that has a really nice tone to it that sounds like a metal machine kind of. Like almost like a saw. But there's no grittiness to it. It's a really smooth sound. So if you were to just layer that with the bass, we'll take out these ones. I'll take out that. Just take the sub and that. That's kind of like your average sound, your average bass sound. This one's a little bit. This is one of the first ones we ever did of the bird fart series, which is this is the sauce that we kind of don't really tell people about.
Yeah, you can't give away the bird.
But the bird fart is a synth that we made that it has a bunch of different LFOs doing a bunch of different things. A lot of it has to do with just this crazy ass filter that's on it. And they're changing the pitch as well as changing the pitch here is being manipulated, as well as the weight table and the way that this one's affecting this one. There's a lot of different things, and what's so cool about the synth and why we use it for so many of our drops is just messing with this. I really have to be careful. Just moving it even slightly changes the sound drastically. Same thing with this. Moving any of these pieces changes the sound drastically. So that's what's cool is we'll start a song with that, get a cool sound out of it, which was this one, which is what we got this sound. But then we were able to then make all of these other sounds with that and then have them move together. So now we have that initial layer that is the tone of that sound, the metallic tone. Now we have this, which is the grittiness that tone was missing. You can kind of hear it underneath there. Now we'll add the next one. This one's a little bit meaner. You can tell by the title.
What layer mean?
See, so now it's giving it more of a rhythmy sound to it. That's where and because these have the grittiness, and they still have that slight bit of the tone that this one has.
Yeah, it's a little bit
when
more
they layer,
robotized.
it gets mean. So now when we add the sub in, add lasers for laser effect. So loud.
Oh, I know.
Can't hear out of my left ear.
Banging it over my ear.
See, and then this was literally yet another alteration of that same synth, but a triplet. To make it triplets, it's literally just taking this so that it's going into triplets there, and then I think it's this one, moving that one to a faster speed, so it's doing something different there. And you have triplets. For this song, some songs you change the sub to go with it. This song we didn't. Because we just wanted to keep that driving, blah, blah, like what you feel live.
Ignorant, just like 808.
Yeah, because this song has so many change-ups with all the top sounds.
All gold.
Sub patch. So they
Sub
want us to
patch.
do a sub patch.
All right, so the sub on this is pretty wild.
It's made in Serum.
Yeah, most of our subs are either Serum or the Kick 2 plugin. The Kick 2 one is good for stuff that really needs to sound more like an 808, and it's better for stuff that's not going to be manipulated as much.
Yeah.
Serum, because of the way you can use pitch bender, the way you can really adjust whether it wubs like this one, or whether like this is literally just on the attack of the sound, but or whether the pitch bend goes up or down and stuff like that. It's much better in Serum. This is literally just I mean,
just
the sub in this part is just the bottom end. I mean, we cut most of these frequencies out. There's compression on it. It sounds really bad. Must be the mastering is clipping. Yeah, just I mean, for this 808, it's literally just a massive amount of compression. It's actually not even that massive amount. It's just on the auto gain.
And it's not even side chained to the kick either. Yeah, well, it is ducking in volume.
The real part of that comes with the squeal. That's what your ear is like going to, so it doesn't need anything fancy on the sub. The sub just needs to be the base of that. And you can see even this part was just like, was literally us being like, okay, well this sounds cool held out. What does it sound like chopped? Oh, cool. That's cool. Like just messing around with shit like that. That's one thing. Chopping up the vocals so that it moved with that was cool. The last drop of this is nuts. That's got a little bit of complicated sound design.
Fuck.
Oof. sounds really dope. That would be a dope drop by itself. There's my favorite lasers. This is a good example of how to kind of EQ and layer and stuff for like one of those rhythm drops that starts off, because we chose to focus on this part of the sound and have that be like, the fake dropout thing. I'm going to take that out and do a little demonstration of how you would make a song that's more rhythm inspired, where it does like this. One of these fake drops.
Fuck.
It sounds sick, like just like that. So we have, long fucked 808. That's just an 808 that lasts long enough for that sound. And I think also this sound kind of goes up in pitch as it progresses. So I made the 808 do the same thing, so that it went really well with that. But all you have to do to make a sub like this, this is kind of how we make dubstep is, we have this sub note here. Now it's gonna have to stop every one of these, so we'll cut it here. Boom. Split, cut it off. Boop. And then this one has to cut here too. Okay. Get rid of that. Now we have, let's make the volume steady. And then instead of long notes, we'll have short notes. Do, 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 do. Got it. Cool. Now it moves with that.
Fuck. Fuck.
So, the layering of that, these sound so big because there's 3 different layers. There's our main layer here. That's the main sound that you hear. That's that stereotypical rhythm fucking serum patch. And you got I just literally used the same thing, went up an octave, but then made the FM and, well, it's the rhythm. It's literally, I'm pretty sure it's RPS overkill. Splice. It's Splice. Made the delay to, they had this thing routed to the delay. So it has one of those delays that makes it's really, really, really short. And then it makes it sound like you can kind of hear the tail. It gives the sound a tail for it to take off the delay. See, it's a really dry sound. So having that delay in there.
And then the sample delay is also giving a little bit of a...
Yeah, well, the sample delay we use a lot. Anytime we want to make a sound that's literally just in the middle, make it in both ears and have it be something that's wide. Use this a lot with vocals. So like if you have the chorus of a song, you want the vocals to be like in the whole mix, be widely panned rather than just in the middle. Mm-hmm. You can have a track, literally just duplicate the vocal track and then put a sample delay like this where it's just delaying it ever so slightly to the right ear, and it'll make it stereo. So that's a quick tip, yeah. And then this is the other layer. This is just a really heavily distorted layer from one of our other songs that we made. There's multiple layers of this from that song, but this was like the distorted one. It just gives it that like crunchy sound. And when you combine them together, you got this really mean sounding rhythm wop. But there's no bass in that whatsoever. None of these sounds, all of them have the bass cut out. All of them. Same thing with your high frequencies here. this has got right where those were peaking, which was right here. That's where those other rhythm sounds were. They're right here, and the rhythm sounds are kind of here. The opposite of that is accentuated for the squeal that goes over it. So anytime you're doing one of those drops that has a steady like rhythm bounce to it, but then has one of those like held out note synths, that's what you want to do. Is whatever frequencies aren't being taken up by the wubs, you put in that high pitched synth above it, and like vice versa, so that they sit nice and they don't get in each other's way. But it's clearly there, and then obviously, then whatever the bass is doing underneath, the bass could either be straight and it can go with the high synth, or it can wobble with the rhythm thing. That's up to you whether you want to do trap, whether you want to do, dubstep stuff.
Fuck. Bitch. Jersey.
All messed up. All right, get rid of that. Put it back the way it was. That was just an interesting demonstration of Rhythm Basics 101. It's all about the sub, really. That's kind of what decides what happens. The top layers are, you can keep layering. It could all sound like however you want it to sound. These wops could be layered totally different. You could make a whole
other song.
A whole different song, yeah, just out of these. If we got rid of this piece.
Or even moving. Lightest thing. Put those to the bonus. Yeah.
Yeah, you could literally make it into like a trap song right now.
And like start moving the fills around and yeah, that sounds dope already.
Yeah, so it's literally like we were saying before. It's literally not necessarily about the sounds that you use. It's how you're using them. We used them in that track, in a very dubstep, very intense way. With we really wanted to have the top sound and really have it just be as big as possible when it comes in there. But like we just switched things around, and it was a little bit more on the rhythm tip. And, it's just same sounds, just using them in a different way.
Now, there is like a little other aspects of this song, like maybe the guitars that are in this is more of a heavier sound rather than the prettier sound. I think they're down. Down more.
Oh,
yeah, they are.
Purpled.
Look at them.
Once again, just Logic amps. Obviously, now there's a lot of layering to the guitars. The rhythm guitars, I would assume are there because there's two of them. Oh, here we go. This is our bass.
Bass guitar. Yeah.
Let's see.
Everybody split the fuck up! Get your body on
Get rid of these.
Those are just synths.
I can get rid of all these. Just random layers.
Everybody spend the
Stupid. There it is. This is a splice sample.
Everybody spend the fuck up!
That's just how.
Get your body!
I mean, that just goes to show like that melody started from a splice sample, but it's layered with so much more texture, and it gives it such a bigger sound.
Yeah, and that's kind of what makes this a unique sounding song. It's not just that that one sample that everybody's used in a song before. It's like turning it into something. Like, hey, that sounds like it could be a guitar riff, not necessarily.
Yeah. I guess they want to hear a little bit about
Get your body on it!
drum work.
That's a bass. Let's put this stuff back in. All right, so drums.
A lot of these are Logic Kit.
Yeah, with a lot of compression on everything. It's really easy to use the Logic stuff because it's very accurate as far as the velocity goes, making the drums sound real.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's open this up.
It's so important, especially when you're using real drum kit sound samples. It's such a big difference when you're able to change the velocity and give it more of a feeling of a real drummer rather than just programmed in.
Yeah, and we have a little
Even,
electronic drum
yeah,
set over here.
and even throwing them off a little bit so they're not all exactly on time gives it a lot more.
Yeah, and it makes it so
rhythm
nice because you
and
can just
groove.
kind of like play in the fills rather than
Yeah.
having to find samples.
It's more
of
natural.
fills.
For
And so I would definitely suggest like if you have Logic, using the Logic drum kit, it's so nice. You can literally change like
Customize it, yeah.
all the different aspects of the drums themselves, the cymbals, how loud they are in the mix. And then the only thing that's kind of tedious is I don't just use like the one track for all the drums, and then play. I'll play the stuff on the one track, but then all the snares will have to go into one track because then your snare is processed differently than the
kick
toms
drum
and the
or-
kick drum. Yeah, exactly.
any of your other drums.
So the toms, there's a top and a bottom. The top obviously has like the high end of the sound, but the low end is all cut out. That's where I put the reverb of the toms as well, because the reverb really only needs to react to that.